The anger of the saints. After being reminded of the stories above, some may claim that the gods, the avatars of gods, the sons of gods, etc., operate by different rules than mortals. Fair point. However, our Puranas also talk about great saints, the mortals who achieve their greatness through years of meditation, yogic practices, and mind control. Surely they ought to be victorious over base emotions like anger, isn't it? After all, these Maharishis had years of tapasya, meditation, to control their emotions. Alas, the first name that pops up from our Puranas when we talk about anger is that of Sage Durvasa. He was notorious for his temper. Once he cursed Indra to lose his power of immortality. The reason? Indra's pet elephant, the white-skinned Arivata, had flung away the garland that the saint gifted Indra. In relation, Durvasa stripped the poor pet owner of his immortality, rendering Indra at par with us humans. Maybe the arrogant king of gods deserved it. Durvasa must have been very kind to all others, isn't it? Well, it turns out that Durvasa was very circular in doing out curses on a whim. Once he visited the hermitage of his friend Kanva. His friend wasn't there, and his adopted daughter, the love-struck Shakuntala, did not notice the great saint coming. She was busy dreaming about her lover Dushyant. Feeling slighted, Durvasa cursed Dushyant, who was not even present in the ashram and had no clue about the sage's visit, that he would forget Shakuntala. Once he was reciting the Vedas before Devi Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. She got his lines wrong, and Devi Saraswati smiled at this mistake. And enraged Durvasa cursed the goddess that she would be born as a human. Another time, he visited Lord Krishna's palace and was welcomed warmly by the Lord's wife Rukmani. Durvasa was pleased by the reception according to him. Unfortunately, Rukmani, she took a sip of water to quench her thirst without seeking Durvasa's permission first. The enraged sage promptly cursed his hostess that she would be separated from her husband. Later, Durvasa cursed his wife Kandali and turned her into a heap of ashes for disagreeing with him. There are more than a few instances in his illustrious career as a sage where he lost his temper. One can only wonder how much anger he would have carried before yogic practices and years of penance, meditation, etc. I'm sure that they helped him to calm down to this level. Pirigu. This story is usually told in Tirupati temple as Venkatasa Mahatmya. Another sage visited Brahma, takes offense at his hospitality, and curses that Brahma would not be worshipped in temples. Then he visits Kailasa, the abode of Shiva, but he gets stopped by Nandi Bull, the doorkeeper, who says Shiva and Parvati are in their congenial chamber and had instructed him not to allow any visitors. And enraged, Bhrigu curses Shiva to be worshipped only in the phallic form. Bhrigu visits Vaikuntha, the abode of Vishnu, and finds that Vishnu is sleeping. Bhrigu is so angry at this treatment that he kicks Vishnu on his Vakshatashala or chest. Vishnu wakes up with a smile and asks whether Bhrigu had hurt his feet and offers to massage the angry Maharishi's feet. thus pacifying the angry saint. All these stories prove that even rishis and gods find it impossible to eliminate anger. So why should mortals like us feel guilty for being occasionally angry? Many Maharishis, despite spending years practicing self control, have lost their cool and uttered curses for reasons that may baffle us now. If avatars like Ram, Krishna, or Jesus and great sages like Durvasa, Vishwamitra, and Vasishtha cannot control their anger, it is unfair to ask lesser mortals like us to do so. As these stories illustrate, even after years of penance, meditation, yoga, pranayama, etc., anger remains unconquered. If anything, they get provoked far more easily than an average human of this era. Let us go back to the story of Lord Shiva cutting off the head of the boy at his doorstep. This story left me confused and terrified as a kid. I would wonder, if I stand at the door when my father comes home, will he cut off my head? My father's name is Neelakantan, another name for Lord Shiva. Does he have the boon to attach heads? What if the first living thing he found after beheading me was a crow or a pig? Would I have to live as a pig-headed boy for the rest of my life? As I grew up, I learned to shrug these off as mere stories. They may have a deeper inner meaning if one seeks them out, but that is not the point here. Even in this dark age of Kali, most of us would never get angry enough to decapitate another. Many stories from the Puranas show that not even gods can fight their fury, nor can humans. All the generalized advice about anger being a bad emotion to be cured, to be curbed, is misguided and often quoted out of context.